watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, Tropical Storm Elsa has now become a hurricane, but will this storm have an impact on the Bahamas? Also, BTC CEO says the company has improved service since Hurricane Dorian. And the country's top cop addressing West End Police Station substandard conditions. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Rowe-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, the first hurricane of the 2021 season, Hurricane Elsa, formed this morning and is on track to impact islands in the Caribbean Sea and Florida. According to the National Hurricane Center, Elsa, currently a Category 1 hurricane with wind speeds between 74 and 95 miles per hour. Elsa is the earliest Atlantic storm on record. Tonight, local officials are advising everyone to continue to monitor the movement of Hurricane Elsa.
At 5 p.m., the center of Hurricane Elsa was located near latitude 14.2 degrees north and longitude 63.7 degrees west, or about 505 miles southeast of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, and about 1,280 miles southeast of Freeport. Elsa is moving toward the west near 30 miles per hour, and a general west or slightly north of west track is expected through Saturday. Thereafter, a decrease in forward speed is forecast early Sunday as Elsa is expected to turn to the northwest. Maximum sustained winds are near 85 miles per hour with higher gusts, and little change in strength is forecast. However, slow weakening is expected once Elsa starts to interact with the Greater Antilles Saturday afternoon into Monday morning. Looking ahead, Elsa should continue on a west to northwest track over the next 36 to 48 hours. Thereafter, a turn to the northwest is expected. On its forecast track, Elsa is forecast to be south of Hispaniola on Saturday afternoon, over southwest Cuba on Sunday afternoon, northwest Cuba on Monday afternoon, and moving north-northwest across the East Gulf of Mexico Monday night into Tuesday evening. At this moment, based on the projected path, Elsa should not directly impact our islands. However, it should be noted that storms wobble, so any jog to the right will inch Elsa closer to our islands, although this appears to be very unlikely. However, Sunday into Tuesday, we can expect some passing showers and gusty winds, particularly in the central and southeastern islands and Turks and Caicos, as Elsa passes to our south. Residents ought to be listening to news items and forecasts issued by the Bahamas Department of Meteorology, Freeport, and Nassau office in the event there is a shift in the storm's track.
Well, another hurricane season brings back memories of what many had to endure in 2019 during Hurricane Dorian. One of the major issues experienced during the worst storm to hit the Atlantic Ocean was the inability to communicate with family members. Many voiced their disappointment with BTC, the country's premier telecommunications company. But tonight, the chief executive officer speaks with ZNS about what has been done to ensure what happened in 2019 never happens again. Many Bahamians who experienced Hurricane Dorian back in 2019, the worst storm to hit the Atlantic Ocean at over 185 miles per hour, remain traumatized by the ordeal. Just before, during, and after the storm, there were many who were on the BTC network who were unable to communicate with family members impacted by the monstrous storm. The country's oldest telecommunications company was criticized for its poor service, but CEO Andre Foster contends contends that there were many lessons learned from Hurricane Dorian, and the company has invested this time around to ensure better resiliency.
Certainly Dorian was one of the 100-year storm, and certainly our performance in certain areas was not as optimal as we would have liked it to be, but we've invested to make sure that we don't have those same experiences in the next 100-year storm.
He adds that they are already showing customers how they are preparing.
Within our parent company, within Liberty Latin America, BTC is probably one of the best skilled groups when it comes to disaster recovery and also from a preparation perspective. Now, especially given that the fact we're in a pandemic and you've got limitations around people moving, certainly we have huge supply chain constraints. We've taken a proactive approach to make sure we have material on the ground, and we have containers that are here that allow us to rapidly restore an area should there be an impact.
The CEO says it comes with a tower built in and ready to deploy infrastructure.
And in fact, here in McLeanstown was one of our first sites that we actually deployed these new solutions that is much more independent, so it relies more on solar and a small generator rather than on commercial power.
And despite the challenges of the past, Foster is adamant that they are seeing where some customers who switched to Alive are coming back.
No, we see customers coming back home, especially on the fixed side of our business, and certainly on the mobile side. We continue to be very competitive in the market. Our FMC, our fixed mobile convergence product, is aimed directly at making sure persons have the greatest value. So as I said, $50 a line for an unlimited postpaid plan, which includes roaming, which includes unlimited data usage, as well as voice and text. It's a plan that can't be matched in the market.
Foster contends that they may be the oldest telecommunications company in the country, but they are operating under modern means.
I would say, look, BTC is really focused on showing that we've kind of turned the corner, that we are a new company, and that we're not your father's telecom company. We're actually a new breed of a telecommunications provider that's focused on giving the greatest value and coverage. Like I said, a 360 coverage for our folks who want to have that experience.
Well, in other news, an official ceremony was held this morning at the Orlando House on Queens Highway, marking the official launch of the Leadership Esteem Ability Discipline Institute. It is a training organization that has been around for more than a decade, focusing on assisting at-risk youth. Jamila Mizik reports.
The LEAD Institute officially launching its program in the Northern Bahamas. The opening ceremony taking place at LEAD's office on Grants Bahama in the Orlando House building on Queens Highway. LEAD Institute President and CEO Troy Clark noting that LEAD's goal is to ensure that every Bahamian who requires pre- and post-correctional facility assistance or is deemed at risk is supported and equipped to take on the world and make a meaningful contribution wherever they live.
What is the price of the lack of investment, skills training, and rehabilitation? What is the price of those who want to leave their past behind and positively contribute to their families and society? The cost is undoubtedly too high for our country. Today, we take another step. The LEAD Institute is in the business of transforming lives, advancing leadership potential, and enhancing the skill sets of a community often left to flounder.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Aram Lewis, and Minister of State for Finance and Grants Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, delivering remarks. Minister Thompson noting that in order for the program to be successful, a partnership between all of the relevant agencies is necessary for the impact the LEAD Institute will have on Grants Bahama.
If I can help somebody as I travel along, if I can help somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody that they are doing wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. And I will tell you, based on the course that you are on now, your living will indeed not be in vain. I again congratulate you for bringing this very important international now organization to the island of Grand Bahama. And I wish you success in every area that you seek.
It is important that we continue to develop and develop and modernize our effective policies. And we have, as was said, to work together. The government has to play its part to provide social support, to provide economic empowerment. The family has to provide its support when it comes to spiritual and moral. And then we have the community, where the church and community groups and civic groups like yourselves have to also come together.
Keynote speaker, leader of Bahamas Harvest Church, Pastor Mario Moxie, speaking on the theme, Saving Our Communities.
Without vision, people perish. Without a revelation, without foresight, without having foreknowledge of a thing. The scripture actually says people cast off restraints. That means there's no boundaries. The difference between a swamp and a river is that a river have boundaries and a swamp doesn't. That's why the water in the river moves at a rapid pace. And you put anything in the middle of that river, it'll move it out of the way because it has energy, it has power, it has determination. That's what a river does. But the water in the swamp is stale and stagnant, and oftentimes it stinks. You can't do anything with that. A person whose life has vision is transformed by the vision. It's transformed by the preferred future that they see of themselves, that someone has been able to inspire in them. That's the purpose of LEAD. That's why LEAD exists, to inspire young men. And then thirdly, Jesus taught us the first thing was compassion, the second thing was leadership, and the third thing is teamwork.
Now Pastor Mario Moxie blessed and anointed the facility, followed by the cutting of the ribbon, officially opening the newest LEAD office on Grants, Bahama. Jamila Missick, ZNS Network News.
The Commissioner of Police, Paul Roll, giving an update on the status of the West End Police Station. This coming following reports that officers stationed there continue to work under substandard conditions, including a malfunctioning air-conditioned system, mold, and termites. And the fair is that the building, which also has a housing quarters, is not structurally sound, particularly during the passing of a storm.
We've had the engineers from Ministry of Works to go in, have a look at it, and we have sent out an RFP for work and the scope of work to be done. So that is going to be at some point, once we have all of those, and then we send it out to tenders. That will then go into cabinet for approval for the work to be prepared. When that work goes on, the station will have to be closed because the extent of the wear and tear on that building is not suitable for persons to be working it when the work is going on.
3 inspections by Ministry of Works has already taken place. Initial reports suggest that the concrete of the upper floor slab has deteriorated to the point where pieces have spalling. But Roll says there is a plan to move the officers soon.
We're have to identify another location. I'll be in Grand Bahama sometime next week, along with the Assistant Commissioner and team down there, and we'll scour out. And while I speak, if someone in the western area has a building that they believe is suitable for the police station, you can let me know. And when I get down there next week, I'll be more than happy to come and take a look at it.
Now, it has been recommended that the building should be demolished because the cost to repair exceeds what it would cost to rebuild. Tourism officials on Grand Bahama excited about the return of the Adventure of the Seas. Although it has only been less than 1 month since the return of the cruise ship, vendors in both the Port Lucaya Marketplace and the downtown fruit and vegetable market are already seeing the economic benefits.
Fridays on Grand Bahama now mean the return of tourists via the Adventure of the Seas. The first stop for the guests, the downtown fruit and vegetable market, which was buzzing with activity. From there, tourists are bussed to the Port Lucaya Marketplace. General Manager of Tourism Stephen Johnson says he is always pleased to see the doors of businesses open, ready to welcome in tourists. Now this week, the cruise ship will make a second stop to the island on Sunday.
You know, we're all churchgoers, and I'm a church guy. And we don't want to interfere with the church. But you asked us for business, we're giving it to you. We're asking the people at Port Lucaya to open, the straw vendors, the stores. Also, we met with the vendors market in the downtown area, as well as the arts and craft market downtown. They're excited about the business they've been getting with the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, and they will be open. And we just give thanks for the business we're getting in Grand Bahama. I know not everybody's not getting what they want right now, but believe me, have faith in this Grand Bahama product that is happening.
This Sunday is also recognized as the United States Independence Day. Johnson says he's hoping to see the marketplace filled with a mix of Bahamian culture and tourists.
I have a meeting right now with Mr. Moss, the general manager here, and I'm saying to him, we need a live band. We need people walking around in junk in the costume just to take Instagrammable pictures. I'd also like to see the police in hard hats out here. I want to see some atmosphere, some culture. What's said about the Grand Bahama Port, unlike Nassau, is that we don't have enough activities, and so we're just trying to really boom it up. And you're going to see some different things happening in Grand Bahama.
Down at the fruit and vegetable market, public relations manager for the Ministry of Agriculture, Quinta Forbes, says they are elated that business is once again picking up in a major way.
The vendors are elated. They're excited. Feeling of euphoria in the environment because now they understand that change is about to come as it relates to tourists visiting the island and this facility. I encourage vendors to come out. I encourage vendors to give the tourists a new experience, give them an enjoyable, a memorable experience. I'm saying to tourists that, hey, if we want this to work, we must be present, we must be here.
How many stores are occupied?
Currently, the 24 stores occupied. We have with us now Bush Tea. We have some new vendors that's joining the team. So we're giving we're giving the tourists a diversity of shopping experience.
Now, Johnson is reminding residents to continue to do their part in combating the global pandemic.
A lot of exciting things planned for them. And so we're just asking people to stay positive. Don't get caught up with anybody coming into your establishments, visitors. Make sure they have their masks on, make sure they sanitize, and doing everything else that the health officials. I just wanted to say a special thank you to Dr. Bartlett and his team for really going overboard. We have information sessions on now to the entire tourism industry, again, giving them an update on COVID. As you know, there's a very dangerous variant out in Canada and the U.S. that's hanging around. And so let's not get too comfortable.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Awesome news there. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
H&L School Supplies and Bookstore is your complete party supply store with over thousands of items and a huge selection of party favors, greeting cards, balloons, party gift bags for all occasions. Find an assortment of wrapping paper, candles, banners, cellophane, balloons, and badges. At H&L, they truly pride themselves in excellent customer service from experienced and knowledgeable staff. So come on in and let H&L make memories that will last a lifetime.
Every Saturday and Sunday at 11 a.m., Cocktails on the Bay, Port Lucaya is the place for brunch for only $16.99. Unwind, relax, Cocktails on the Bay.
Yes, sir. What you saying, bro?
Man, everything cool. Radio weekend dead hot. What you doing for lunch?
You catching me here checking out the ZNS Shopping Network site? I looking at this out to sea deal.
Yeah? How do one go?
For $30, you get a $50 coupon. 20% off fish at the stand, plus you get $10 in minutes.
Man, you can't beat that.
Well, out to sea it is. Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com. Select the island of your choice and shop anywhere, anytime.
They say health is wealth. Well, let's find out. I'm Jamila Mizik, and I'm here to take you on a journey into what it means to have complete wellness.
news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. This month, the Bahamas celebrates 48 years as an independent nation. Tonight, a veteran educator and career public officer is sharing his views on the nation's progress since 1973. He says, although much has been accomplished, the Bahamas still has a very long way to go. Romiko Knowles has more.
As Bahamians prepare to recognize the country's 48th year of independence, Dr. Donald McCartney says for the most part, citizens of the country have been miseducated about what it truly means to be independent.
In any nation that would have been a colony, I think its people look forward to quote-unquote freedom. But the point is that there's no pure freedom and there's no pure democracy. The point that I'm making is that whatever you do, there are some things that you've got to pay the price. For an independent nation, it doesn't mean that you're totally independent. You've got to depend on other nations for certain things that you would need to develop and to go forward.
He says as an independent country, the Bahamas has done well and highlights a few accomplishments.
We have seen the creation, I think, of national insurance. We've seen the country being able to establish a Marine force in the Royal Bahamas Defense Force to help to protect our borders. We have had more young people going off to school and getting higher degrees. We have more qualified teachers than we've ever had in the history of this country.
But he says the country's progression is not a representation of where it should be, which is a Bahamas for all Bahamians. As he puts it, every Bahamian is entitled to their fair shake from the dilly tree.
See, the wealth of the country has to be shared equally, when I say equally, by giving everyone the opportunity to excel, to make a living, to improve the economics. That is not what is happening in the Bahamas. If you are rightfully aligned with the right people in power, then you get more than the average fellow would get.
And now, at the dawn of 48 years of independence, the former educator says he has a frightening concern.
I look at the state of our young people in the nation today, 48 years after, and somehow or the other, I think we have dropped the ball as far as our young people are concerned. It frightens me, it bothers me, to see particularly the state of our young men in an independent Bahamas. I don't see the morality, I don't see the commitment, I don't see the examples that need to be set for our young people to follow, because they are the future. They will be the ones to carry the baton long when persons of my age are off the scene.
And in spite of its shortcomings, McCartney believes that the Bahamas still has an opportunity to be the nation that it ought to be.
It calls for leadership in the country, be it the church, be it in the home, be it within politics, to be the example that they ought to be to the nation, to lead the way in teaching us how to act as one people and to be one and to be our brother's keeper, no matter your politics.
Romiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
And now it's time for your Friday Sports Check with Romiko Knowles.
This is ZNS Total Sports, your source for sports in the North. Good evening, all. I'm Romiko Knowles. Topping sports, the Freeport Rugby Club Junior Summer Soccer Camp kicking into action on Monday, July 5th at the club soccer field. Director Ian Austin says the camp is for junior players ages 6 through 16. Boys and girls are welcomed.
Basically, we're going to be working on the basic foundation, the techniques, the basic techniques of the game, the touches of the game, and how we can also incorporate the game into lifestyle principles, right? Because with everything else, there's discipline. And if you can transfer what you learn from soccer or any sport into your general lifestyle, I think he'll be successful.
And it's wheels up for the Falcons Boys Club, who will be tipping off in the 2021 Youth Basketball of America Boys National Championship in Central Florida this weekend. Director Darren Rose says the boys are excited.
This year's team comprised 15 young boys from 6 different local schools here on the island of Grand Bahama. The Falcons Boys Club have taken basketball teams to Orlando for the past 22 years as our way of continuing to allow young men to be able to develop in the game of basketball, not just develop locally, but also develop internationally. So today it's again a privilege for us to be able to announce to all of those persons who have partnered with us, who have sponsored, who have supported the Falcons Boys Club, that we are again showing you exactly where all of your donations, your funds, your prayers, and your support continues to go into the lives of young men.
It's a dream come true for 3 sprint sensations, all from Grand Bahama, qualifying for the 2021 Tokyo Summer Olympic Games. They all punched their ticket to represent the country at the world's largest sporting stage, and they say they're ready. Former student of Sunland Baptist Academy, Brianne Bethel, will be making her debut appearance.
This like a dream come true. I've been working so hard for this every time. Like, this just been my main goal. This way I get my focus. Like, every time something happened to me, I always look at the Olympics and realize that that's the actual goal of track and field, not nothing else. Making it there. But for myself on the line, every Bahamian should know that I given it my all, my 100%, and I preparing to make the finals in all my races.
Junior athlete Lacarthia Cooper will also be making her debut, and she is not nervous at all.
I'm excited that I get to represent the country and make my country proud, be a part of the team.
Appearing for the second time, Tanithia Gator will be contesting the 100 and 200 meter.
If you know me, you know I got hot. So, I mean, I feel like heart beats talent at the end of the day. So, for me, it's a dog fight. I'm going out there to fight. I'm going out there to take what's mine. I feel like it's mine, and I'm not going down without a fight. I put in a lot of work. I have faith in my coach. I have faith in my training, and we'll go out there and get it done.
And that's a check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time.
Bahamas, but the management instead Esquires Men's Freeport for your dress, formal, and casual attire and accessories. Phone them at 352-8816.
When you're operating at the highest standards, something remarkable happens. You don't just meet your goals, you exceed them. You don't just respond to needs, you anticipate them.
And you know that failure comes with consequences. You deserve the best we have to offer. And this is why we're working to ensure that we deliver on our commitments.
And we will take responsibility when we don't.
You have high expectations.
And we're committed to doing what it takes to exceed them.
The Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology transformed my life. It gave me the opportunities that I needed to succeed. I benefited from their affordability and was able to complete my associate's degree on time. Their day, evening, and weekend classes meant that I didn't have to leave home or quit my job to pursue my dreams. Generous scholarships and installment plans made it easy for me to cope financially. BIBT was the right choice for me. Why not make it your choice?
Apply today at BIBTBahamas.com.
Hey, wait! What you doing, baby? Don't jump, you all right? Man, I so stressed out. I could use a massage. Oh, no, don't look at me. I don't do them things. Why don't you check out the ZNS Shopping Network? They may be able to help you with something like that. You think they have something for that? Yeah, man, for sure. For New Day Spa. That's the place where the girls them is rub you down and fill you up. I am buying this coupon for the hot stone massage. Renew Day Spa it is. I'm going. Hey, look here, wait for me. I rolling with you.
Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com. Select the island of your choice and shop anywhere, anytime.
of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Well, Lola Benaby Carroll, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We say thank you so much for your support. And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, we wish you all a wonderful weekend. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, an ambitious multi-million-dollar dream realized in Harbor Island. Another day of rising COVID-19 cases, a major injection to the country's health system, and drug usage increases. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns.
This building, owned by the National Insurance Board, is being ceremoniously named in honor of the country's first female Governor General and former Minister of Education, Dame Ivy Dumont. Join the Ministries of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture, and the Public Service and National Insurance for the naming ceremony of this building on University Drive, which houses the Ministries of Education and Youth, Sports and Culture. We are broadcasting live on Monday, July 5th, 2021, with our pre-show beginning at 10:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
Good evening, I'm Makush Lopindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. There's now more than just the Pink Sands Resort that will be attracting visitors to Harbor Island, Eleuthera. The multi-million-dollar Bryland Club officially unveiled today. Construction on this exclusive 27-acre waterfront community is underway. Bryland Club developers boast that it is the only marina in the region that features a breakwater, hurricane-rated floating docks, clean power, in-slip fueling, and pump-out, and hardwired internet access. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, traveled to Harbor Island today to view the property, and he's excited it will provide a myriad of opportunities for Bahamians.
In November of 2018, the developers received approval to purchase approximately 21 acres of land at Dunmore Town for the expansion of the previously approved 4M Harbor Island Marina Resort. And the approval was for a project to include restaurants, a spa, 67 cottages, villas and suites, and 6 being condos. The capital investment as of April 30th this year was $17 million. And as you hear, I was advised that the total investment up to the day has now reached $100 million.
Bryland Club developer Michael Wiener thanked his entire team for this accomplishment that has been years in the making.
We dreamed about creating a world-class marina in a space that would raise the bar, if you will, while maintaining and respecting the culture of the island and its natural charm. The marina on which we stand, I believe, will set a new standard of excellence for marina development in the Bahamas. From abundant power, the use of organic materials, such as Ipe wood, coral stone, the use of gray water, thoughtful landscaping, advanced fire suppression systems. This project has been built to withstand the forces of nature.
Now, not only is Harbor Island buzzing with economic activity, but tourists, as we understand, American visitors have saturated the island to vacation for the U.S. Independence holiday weekend. There are reportedly no hotel rooms, golf carts, and limited restaurant availability. It definitely proves the country's #1 industry is rebounding as more Americans get fully vaccinated to soak up all the archipelago has to offer.
Harbor Island has fared this coronavirus pandemic extremely well. Obviously, it's a high-end, low-density, very attractive boutique-type holiday that has been very attractive to persons looking to get away but not to expose themselves to the virus. Harbor Island has done an exceptional job of driving foreign visitors to their location.
There is the concern, though, that as these large vaccinated yet unmasked crowds gather, a possible uptick in COVID-19 cases will follow. Well, here's what Tourism and Aviation Minister, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, had to say about that.
I guess the CDC has determined that once you're vaccinated, you don't need to observe those rules, but those rules have not come to the Bahamas yet, and we're still observing the mask mandate, given the fact that our vaccination rates are not at the level as they are in the U.S. Well, the COVID enforcement unit, tourism officials are advising our foreign visitors of these are the rules that must be observed while you're in country. And so, you know, it's an education process, but, you know, it's important that we keep on top of it to minimize any negative impact from the spread of the coronavirus.
Well, no doubt Harbor Island's hotel sector is getting the economic boost it needs. General Manager of 11 Experience and Bahama House, Antoine Brown, raved that despite the impact of COVID-19, visitors are still eager to travel to the island.
We are seeing double-digit growth in our occupancies above 2019. Our RevPAR has had a really good spike, and our pacing for the remainder of the year is well ahead of where we were in 2019. And the reason I referenced 2019 because 2019 was an actual banner year. So we are looking very, very good. We have actually been able to bring on a few more staff because unfortunately during the pandemic of last year, we had to furlough a few employees.
Harbor Island residents also welcoming the many visitors to their home. Here's Harbor Island District Council's Public Relations Officer, Martin Lee Grant.
You can't rent a golf cart, a scooter, or a bicycle. As I move through the town, I'm seeing tourists walk up and down through the town because they cannot rent a golf cart or any means of transportation. The taxis are very busy, the grocery stores are very busy. So I've never seen this in my life being on the island, and the people are excited because they're working, they're having 2 and 3 jobs, and I'm excited to see that my people have a smile on their face. As you know, last year we were plagued with the pandemic that covered the world, but right now Harbor Island is looking very, very good.
Back here in New Providence, many Americans will spend their Independence holiday weekend aboard Crystal Cruises Serenity at the Nassau Cruise Port. The cruise line will officially begin home porting in the Bahamas tomorrow afternoon with an inaugural ceremony at Pompey Square. And then it's off on its series of 16 7-night round-trip cruises from Nassau. Crystal Cruises joins Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines in realizing this historic program, which local officials say has been a huge success.
And what is most amazing about Crystal Cruises is they've decided that the entire cruise will be in the Bahamas. So they're going to go to Bimini, they're going to go to Grand Bahama, they're going to go to Long Island, they're going to go to Exuma, and they're going to go to San Salvador. What is this amazing? They're going to be able to touch many parts of our archipelago. Between July the 2nd and July the 10th, 13,000 cruise passengers will be coming into the port of Nassau. So Bay Street and all the vendors down there, you can get ready. It seems as if the regular tourism that we're used to is coming back, and we've been working very, very closely with the cruise companies to make that a reality, to get them back in business, to get their operation up and running again so that Bahamians, Freetown constituents, can get back to work.
Now, Crystal Cruises Serenity was expected to dock during a port inauguration ceremony hosted by Resorts World Bimini Port this Sunday, July 4th. However, that event has been postponed until further notice, and that could very well be due to Bimini's new 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew following an increase in positive COVID-19 cases there. Acting General Manager Greg Stubbs says there are certain circumstances developing in Bimini which has given rise to the resort making its decision. And speaking of COVID cases, New Providence pulling in 66 of the 73 new infections on record. Cases still coming in from Bimini and Cat Key, with 5 and 1 each on Grand Bahama and Abaco. Gender-wise, that's 41 females and 32 males. Our overall case count surpassing the 12,800 figure to sit at 12,808. Thursday's dashboard showing a hospitalization count of 50 2 of them in the intensive care unit. The other 48 are moderately ill. Health officials also pinning down the number of recoveries at 11,629, 30 of them yesterday, which also saw the completion of 405 tests, 10 of them repeats, and 3 returning inconclusive results. Well, every dollar counts, and the Bahamas can add $40 million to what it already has to strengthen its local health system. The Inter-American Development Bank approving the funds, stressing an emphasis on improving residents' access in the smaller islands. The IDB noting that improvements in the delivery of the primary health care model and hospital services and the introduction of digital health information systems, including telemedicine and electronic health records in 54 clinics, will improve access and quality of health care measures that will directly benefit at least 157,000 people, or about 40% of the local population. The loan approval follows a separate $5 million by the IDB's private sector arm, IDB Invest, that benefits Doctors Hospital health system. Still to come, an overnight police shooting probed and a bit of advice should you spot a cane toad. We're back after this break. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this process.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC, a substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Do not evade the police. Stern advice authorities are issuing following a police-involved shooting in the Coconut Grove area overnight. Police Press Liaison Officer Assistant Superintendent Audley Peters fills us in with the details.
2 units, while patrolling in the community of Coconut Grove, were dispatched to 4th Street, where they were informed that 2 suspects were brandishing firearms in that community by members of the public. The officers responded, and as they engaged the suspect, they ran through a street, and as a result, coming through a shortcut, officers observed a young man brandishing a firearm. When he saw the officers, he pointed his firearm in their direction. One of the officers discharged his service weapon at the suspect, hitting him multiple times.
We're also told the male then dropped a weapon, leading to his arrest.
EMS was summoned to the scene and escorted the suspect to the hospital, where his condition is not known at this time. We're pleased to say that that firearm was recovered along with 11 rounds of ammunition. At this moment, we want to thank members of the public who were vigilant, who saw the suspects with these weapons and called the police, and we were able to act as quick as possible. We want to continue to advise members of the public to continue to pass the information on to us, because tonight, someone's life was saved thanks to someone who had the courage enough to call the police.
Police, meantime, closely monitoring the increased incidence of stealing by reason of service. In more common terms, employees stealing from persons or their employer. It's a matter that falls under the gamut of the Financial Crimes Investigation Unit. Officer in charge, Chief Superintendent Matthew Edgecombe, says fraudsters are using social media to carry out their evil schemes to snare victims. He has this warning for online shoppers.
For example, someone advertises a vehicle for sale, and they ask you to pay a down payment to them or give them a deposit. You have to be careful. Also, we saw a lot of persons now advertising solar systems for sale and generators. And we have a number of complaints from customers who say that nothing was done. If you go to pay somebody money, get a receipt. One. Always get a receipt. Ask them what is the scope of work to be done. Let them give detail, saying step 1, step 2, step 3, stages. We'll have a witness present with you, so you could have another person to say, yes, I was there and I paid them this money, so what the funds was for.
Now, those caught stealing by reason of service face up to 10 years behind bars. Here's how you can avoid becoming a victim.
I know we have a mechanism here at the Financial Crimes Investigation Branch. You can give us a call and give us the name of the company and give us the name of the person, and we can do a check in our database we have here. And we can tell you if this person is credible or if we had any contact with this person before relative to bad business deals. My number here at the office is 356-6019.
Bahamas National Drug Council officials uncovering some startling trends relating to drug usage here in the Bahamas. This after observing International Day Against Drug Abuse with an emphasis on sharing facts and saving lives. Speaking on an episode of Cop Talk, council officers revealed that marijuana usage has reportedly grown as a result of the pandemic. Furthermore, in addition to the apparent increase in female users, teens are also falling prey to the seemingly appealing edible versions of the drug. Demand Reduction Officer Antoinette Anderson details the council's most recent teen intervention.
It kind of showed how parental involvement can either help or harm depending on how it's being given the children. We also found that poor things, some of them just was experimenting, or I got a piece of brownie from somebody. I didn't even purchase it. And so that was even sad. I think we still need to there's still more to get into because not only those specific children, but the other school children. But
Demand Reduction Officer Mandel Miller also raising awareness on another drug he says parents should be on the lookout for, a methamphetamine, which also goes by the street name Molly.
The usage out there, from what I'm seeing, is at an alarming rate, and particularly among young people. And what I find with those that use these products is they're not only using the pills, because they mostly come in pill form, but persons that use these products tend to drink alcohol and smoke marijuana, along with the use of this methamphetamine. And so the toll that it's taking on their health as a person is astronomical.
Also making news tonight, it's a scary thought, but apparently the proliferation of the invasive cane toad has reared its head back on New Providence. We told you about its reemergence earlier this week. Tonight, our Carla Palmer reveals more of what officials have found.
Rainy weather not only contributing to the growth of vegetation, but also the perfect conditions for cane toads. The cane toad was first spotted here in the Bahamas back in 2013 in Lyford Key. Since then, the Department of Agriculture's surveillance team has been tracking this potentially deadly invasive species.
The cane toad is poisonous at every stage. That's the eggs, the tadpoles, and the adults. Cane toad is very large. They can be about 11 centimeters in size. They have a bony ridge on the nose. They have large salivary glands on the sides of the neck, and they have a bumpy, roughened appearance. They can have black spots, and they can also be light yellow in color, much different from our native frogs.
According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources Veterinary Officer, Dr. Deandra Delancey Milford, cane toads so far have been seen in a specific part of New Providence.
The concentration seems to be more in the western area of Old Bay, Venetian West. In those areas, you'll find adults, you'll find juveniles.
There was another sighting on Hospital Lane in the Baines and Grantstown area 2 weeks ago.
They did some tracing with the persons in that area, and it seems to be possibly a landscaper that may have brought it into the area just as a hitchhiker.
Not aggressive or unafraid of people, Dr. Milford still suggests that if you come into contact with a cane toad, to avoid it and instead phone the Department of Agriculture or Environmental Health for assistance.
Of course, if you try to capture them, they may let off this toxin, which it does not spray very far. It is more of, if you touch me, then you'll get the poisonous effects. And if the toxin is inadvertently entered into the mouth or your pet ingests the toxin, the first thing to do is wash it off with copious amounts of water. We want to prevent any more absorption of the toxin. Once that is done, then you should go and see your veterinarian in regards to your pet or your doctor and let them know that this particular toxin, the bufotoxin, was ingested.
As a precautionary measure to keeping the cane toads at bay, the suggestion is to spray a mixture of 2 cups of Savlon or Dettol with a cup of water around the perimeter of your home.
Early mornings and the late evenings, those are better times because the toad normally comes out around those times, emerging from water sources. They won't be in the direct heat. They need fresh water to survive. So when it's cooler, they would be out.
For persons strong-willed, if you really want to help, use gloves when catching the cane toad, place it in a plastic bag, freeze it, then alert authorities, who will come and collect it. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Shell
Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
A new slate of officers at the helm of the Bahamas Society of Ophthalmic Nurses. Their mission to promote vision as a health priority across the country. During Friday's installation and pinning ceremony, President-elect Tamara Donaldson underscored the association's dedication to impacting the lives of Bahamians and residents. She detailed an initiative that's been underway post-Hurricane Dorian and in the midst of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic.
When the clinics were closed, unfortunately, some of our services had to be put on pause, all right, or lessened a bit because of that, with nurses being dispersed to go and help fight the pandemic. The Bahamas Society of Ophthalmic Nurses, which we call BSON, was able to offer free clinics to persons in the community, partnering with other persons like the Rotary Club of Nassau, partnering with the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind and Visually Impaired, and we use churches as our clinics. With the optometrists that we have here in the Bahamas, a group of them, they were able to see how children got their glasses. So we were actually giving out many, many glasses, and we're still doing that today.
Minister of Health, the Honorable Renwood Wells, lauded the nurses for the pivotal role they play in building the nation's health.
The importance of the ophthalmic nurse cannot be underestimated in our society. Henry David Thoreau described the eye as the jewel of the human body. The expert attention of the ophthalmic nurse can assist people in preventing, diagnosing, and treating the factors that could cause this precious jewel of the body to lose its splendor or light. Following the theme of this ceremony, promoting vision as a healthy priority, I encourage everyone to make having regular eye exams a priority.
The pandemic again altering a beloved annual tradition. This year's Independence celebrations, usually held on Clifford Park, will be downsized due to COVID-19 concerns. The annual festivities will be done virtually from Salem Union Baptist Church on Taylor Street, with a simulcast flag-raising ceremony that night from Clifford Park. National Independence Committee Chairman is Mark Humes.
We use this as to show reverence to God for getting us through this situation that we're going through, for keeping us through this situation, and you know, just saying that we do appreciate all that He's done for us. We may not be, you know, or have all we want, but just to say we thank you, Lord, for keeping us safely through this, and to say to Him that we need a revival. We understand that this will be over soon, but we need a revival. We've done 4 years, you know, secular, where we highlighted those and celebrated in that way. But this year, you know, the committee just saw it fit that we use this 1 year to show our reverence and appreciation to God for all that He's done for us through this period.
This year's theme, Celebration of Life, Revive Us Again. Here's a list of who'll be performing.
an incredible array of new, young, fresh Bahamian talent. This is going to be a platform. If we're not familiar with a lot of them, we will become very familiar with them that night. Persons in the likes of Latasha Taylor. When you see Mrs. Taylor perform that night, you're going to be completely blown away by her. Natalia Mackey, Patrice Ramy. You have persons in the likes of Terrell Tinker, Denzel Roll and friends we all know, Alia Colley, Charissa Smith, Angelica McIntosh. So these are going to be just a small group of a large number of talent that you'll see performing that night.
Well, after helping thousands along the way, a beloved clergyman needs your help. Bishop Walter Hanchel is in the fight of his life, and the gospel community is hoping you can help him cut costs in doing so with as much of a love offering as you can offer. Joining us tonight are members of the organizing committee of an upcoming event, Kevin Harris and Pastor Clinton Minnis. Gentlemen, welcome to the Bahamas tonight. Before diving into the event itself, tell us about Bishop Hanchel's condition.
Well, I just want to say a special good night to everyone. At this present time, Bishop Hanchel has undergone a 7 to 9 hour procedure in terms of surgery in the United States, and he was successful in coming through surgery. They were able to remove the tumor, the cancerous tumor in his stomach, and they were also able to remove any form of cancer on his kidney. We are pleased that at this present time, up to this broadcast, he's resting comfortably and progressing very well. As a matter of fact, he's even tuned in live watching this very broadcast right now. So we want to say to Bishop Hanchel a happy 69th birthday, because he's celebrating his birthday today. And so what a wonderful gift that he is doing much better now, having come through a very difficult period.
A great birthday gift indeed. Now to the event. Tell us a little bit about who's involved.
Well, thank you, Bahamas. Listen, this event is going to be a memorial, a tribute service to Bishop Hanchel. And we have from Edison Sumner and Voices of Praise, along with Reverend Christopher Roberts and his team. We have Bishop Lawrence Roll, who is coming to bring it. We have strategic artists from a new generation like Najee Dunn, Landlord. I'm telling you, Shabak, celebrating a wonderful experience this year and next year. And apart from the artists who are performing, we're going to have special tributes being offered through the Bahamas Christian Council by Bishop Delton, Fernando, Pastor Dave Burrows, Reverend Emily Demerit, who is the Secretary of Great Commission. We're going to have Mr. Philip Smith, who partners with Bishop Hanchel from the Bahamas Feeding Network. He is going to come and give tribute to his great friend. And listen, I'm telling you, we're going to have strategic appeals by Pastor Mario Moxie, Bishop Denzel Roll, tributes coming in internationally from Dr. Jonathan McKnight, from Simeon Outen in Grand Bahama, from Bishop Neil C. Ellis here and the Gulf. I'm telling you, it's going to be a wonderful experience. Pastor Alfred Stewart will lead in the Pastors for Prayer, and Apostle Raymond Wells. I'm telling you, this is a powerful experience for the community of faith to show the love of God to one who is amongst us and who has labored hard among the poor. For the word of God says, they that consider the poor, the Lord will deliver them in the time of trouble.
Now, you dropped some heavy names there. Where and when is the event?
Well, the event is called Victorious, and it will be held on this coming Sunday. That is July the 4th, 2021 at the Diplomat Center, the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center, beginning at 5 p.m. Now, we want to encourage as many people to come, but because we are under COVID restrictions and protocol by the Bahamas Christian Council standards, we're just going to have a third of the usual seating capacity for the event. And so what that means is a first come, first served basis, all right? So we want you to be there early, around 4 p.m. is when the doors open, so that you can get your seat. And again, it's going to be at the Diplomat Center, and we're looking forward to a wonderful time.
How much money are we hoping to raise, and where can that money be sent?
Well, the budget we're working with is $150,000. So far, we've raised $25,000 of that amount, so we are looking at another $125,000 to go. For persons interested in making a contribution, there is a GoFundMe page that you can go to right now and just type in the name, Bishop Walter Hanchel. You can give there. Locally, he has a First Caribbean International bank account, details of which will be made available during the live broadcast. Persons who will be at the event, because there is not a ticket charge, it is a free service. We want you to come on there with a generous offer. Come on out with a generous offer that night. And finally, we're going to have a fun experience. We're going to have a drive-up or a drive-by giving experience. There'll be young people from our committee and volunteers right outside the Diplomat Center with their baskets waiting for you to drive up with your vehicles. Bring your children, make it a family experience, and come and put a donation in the basket for Bishop Walter Hanchel. So those are the 4 ways that persons can give. And of course, they can also contact the committee if they would like to give a check from their business or church. We can collect that on his behalf.
I presume if all goes well, Bishop Hanchel himself will be tuning in?
That's right. Bishop Hanchel will be tuning in. They're putting a large screen television in his hospital room in North Carolina so that he can really join the broadcast. I tell you, he did not and he will not miss this. It is going to be a special birthday celebration for him. Yes. It is certainly going to be a time of appreciation and tribute, and certainly the music factor all adds to the experience. And so truly it's going to be a time of victory.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us again. That event happens on July 4th. As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
It's Shay here, and welcome to our first installment of Alive's Community Corner. Not only is Alive a digital service provider, and beyond those great deals and services that we provide you, Alive is committed to the community. So here's a look at what we did for Mother's and Father's Day. This episode, and we look forward to sharing with you so many more of our community moments. So why Alive? Because you deserve it.
Every day that ends in a Y is a great day to save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12-ounce can, $1.99. Super Value alkaline water, 5-gallon size, $4.99. Sweet tangerines, 3 for $1.59. Rainbow evaporated milk, large can, 4 for $3.49. Pork chop ends, $2.39 per pound. Working hard every day to keep your prices down. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
All aboard as Crystal Cruises get set to dock in Exuma next week. The home port vessel cruises the Isles, giving passengers a true taste of the Bahamas. And as visitors prepare for their voyage, President of the Farmers Hill and Old Place Association, Nacarno Roll, and tourism manager Charmaine DeVoe said they want to ensure they provide that perfect visitor experience.
Farmers Hill is really going to be the place for the cruisers, and we're trying to make it as beautiful as possible so that everybody can enjoy themselves and have a wonderful time here in Farmers Hill.
We have our bathrooms upgraded. We have a beautiful pavilion that we hope to have persons sit down and use as a lounge area. We have a beautiful boardwalk that has been constructed that leads all the way out to the beach. And this wonderful area is going to house our artisans, food vendors, and also beverage vendors.
And speaking of vendors, Exuma and Ragged Island Administrator Deborah Moxie Roll encourages others to come on board.
We still have a few slots left for vendors, craft, artisans, and this is a perfect opportunity to showcase your talent because we are known for not only our beauty, but for our people skills. So we anticipate welcoming the people and having a wonderful time when they get here.
There's a reason the government chose the 7 airports it did for a possible public-private partnership, providing a walkthrough of a project information memorandum. International consultants Lee Fisher Associates Managing Director Jim Liu says Grand Bahama and 6 Family Island airports were specifically picked for their upside potential, the opportunity to drive growth.
These airports live in very short-haul proximity to the major U.S. market. One airport already has pre-clearance to make the experience for U.S. passengers or U.S. Customers even easier to use. So this is very easy for airlines to push metal into this market. It's not a big commitment. It's a short haul, and there's an ability to respond to growth in the market because it's convenient and easy. The portfolio includes both Tier 1 and Tier 2 international airports. All of the airports are internationally enabled, and it serves a leading, leisure and visiting friends and relatives market.
The facilities are bundled into 2, the Grand Bahama International Airport and 6 Family Island airports. The market is invited to bid on a single bundle, both, or any combination. The government sees the private sector as key to locking in capital, knowledge, and efficiency to operate these airports as profit centers. COVID, though, is said to have made traffic outlook for these airports difficult, but based on industry sources, the outlook is positive.
But there's clear evidence of very strong indicators, whether you go to IATA or FAA or ACI, that the U.S. Southeast region, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, the feeder channels that represent over 80%, will be seeing very significant growth in revenue passenger kilometers. And we're looking clearly to tap in to that market. So their growth is foreseen to grow steadily, going way past COVID. And we're looking to capitalize on the connectivity and the proximity to that market, which represents a very strong indicator of continued growth.
Oh, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil. I see we now have our first hurricane of the Atlantic season. Is Elsa any threat to the Bahamas, though?
Well, you're correct. We do have the first hurricane of the season. Elsa has been upgraded at 5 o'clock this afternoon. You can see her there on our satellite picture, just pulling away from the Leeward Islands and back into the Caribbean Sea. It's now packing winds about 85 miles per hour, and we don't expect any significant change in the intensity over the next couple of days as it moves very quickly towards the west, northwest at about 30 miles per hour. However, that will slow down over the next couple of days as it starts to make that turn over Cuba and towards the north and west. To answer your question directly, no, we don't expect any direct effect from this system, but there could be some feeder bands that will increase shower activity over the southeast Bahamas beginning late Saturday heading into Sunday. And as we go to our tracking map, you can see that right here, just around our Sunday morning early, it will be just to the south of the southeast Bahamas, and that at that time is when they will start to experience some increase in shower activity. And as we go into Monday morning, it will be just to the south and west of Andros there. over western Cuba as it takes aim for the Florida Peninsula. Once again, the showers will continue to advect towards the north and west as that system continues to move there. We expect some weakening of that system once it gets over the island of Cuba sometime on Monday and emerges in the Gulf of Mexico, perhaps as a tropical storm. So there you have it as far as Elsa is concerned. But outside of our studios just now, mostly cloudy skies, temperature 82 degrees, the relative humidity 83%. We have southeast winds at 8 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,016.3 millibars, 30.01 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Outlets this evening, well, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 84 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Atoll Key, Marshall, Barbacoa, with some heavy cloud cover there at 82 degrees. 84 in the Berry Islands, Alistair and Bimini, 85 degrees. 83 in Harbor Island and Roxani, Lutra. Black Point, Exuma, 84. Also, Kemps, Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros reporting 84 degrees. Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key also at 84. 86 in Georgetown, Exuma. 86 in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, 84. Actors, 84. Matthewtown, Unagua at 85 degrees. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the northwestern islands, southeast to south winds, the speeds 10 to 15 knots, wave fights at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide takes place at 9:33 tonight. In the central and southeastern islands, winds southeast at 15 to 20 knots with caution flags up. Choppy seas 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And then on Saturday in the northwestern islands, the winds become southwest at 10 to 15 knots, wave fights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide takes place at 9:48 tomorrow morning, high tide at 4:11 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Saturday, southeast winds once again at 15 to 20, wave fights 4 to 7 feet. Caution flags hold right into tomorrow. And as we head into Sunday, the winds then become southeast once again at 10 to 15 knots, the wave fights remaining at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide on Sunday at 10:33 in the morning, high tide at 5:01 in the afternoon. For the central Bahamas on Sunday, we expect the winds to be out of the southeast at 15 to 20 knots, and the wave fight 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. In the southeast Bahamas, southeast winds 15 to 25 knots. Very rough sea conditions, and that's because Elsa will be very near, and that will then cause the winds to increase over the southeast Bahamas to an advisory level. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
They say, you should know better. Yeah, you need to change your ways. What kind of move that you making? That's what the people say. But the way I move my body, make the boys them want to play. The way I jump into the music, I make the...
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
You are a healthcare worker. Thank you for fighting on the front lines against COVID-19. It is normal to feel stressed when taking care of others who don't feel well. But remember to take care of yourself. Don't forget to rest between shifts, eat healthy meals, engage in physical activity, and stay connected to family and friends. Avoid harmful coping strategies like drinking alcohol. For managers of healthcare workers, the same tips apply to you. Here's how you can help. Consistently give updates. Rotate staff between high and low stress level functions. Encourage work breaks and ensure that they know where they can find help. We are here for you.
This building, owned by the National Insurance Board, is being ceremoniously named in honor of the country's first female Governor General and former Minister of Education, Dame Ivy Dumont. Join the Ministries of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture, and the Public Service and National Insurance for the naming ceremony of this building on University Drive, which houses the Ministries of Education and Youth, Sports and Culture. We are broadcasting live on Monday, July 5th, 2021, with our pre-show beginning at 10:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
Legend, a story that has been passed down for generations. In our history, there are numerous untold stories. This is our legend.
I am a true Bahamian. Nassau's my home, my native land. I want you people to understand. I'm proud to be a Bahamian.
She's been singing since the age of 5 because she felt like it.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Team Bahamas has been named for the Tokyo Olympics. Track and field will be made up of Tania Gaither, Shawnee Miller-Webo, Brian Bethel, Anthony Strawn, Padria Seymour, Devin Charlton, Samson Colbrook, Stephen Gardner, and Jamal Wilson. Donald Thomas awaits an invite. Also named but not listed, Megan Moss and Donisha Anderson for relay duties. Joanna Evans and Isaac Bastian will lead the charge for aquatics. Laura Morley is also awaiting an invitation. President of the Bahamas Olympic Committee, Romel Fish-Knowles, likes the makeup of the team.
This team is no less talented than any team that we've carried at any time in the past. Some may tend to differ, but our expectation in terms of medals are the same. With some pluses on our side. We have 2 big horses in Devin and Padria. Joanna, anything could happen. I mean, you know, I don't have to tell you, in sports, anything could happen at the right time, at the right place. But we feel good. I mean, and we feel really good about what our chances are in terms of medaling at the Olympics. And I think this team has just as good a chance of eclipsing the amount of medals that we've ever won in any one Olympics.
The Bahamian flag flying high at Lake Garda, Italy, as our Optimist sailors are representing the country at the 2021 Optimist World Champions. The event officially opened last evening and races kicked off today. Sailors Joshua Weish and Craig Ferguson of the Nassau Yacht Club, along with Finley McKinney Lambert of Eleuthera Sailing Academy, and Matthew Reed and Zane Munro of Royal Nassau Sailing Club, face competitors from 59 countries. After 3 days of qualifying, the teams will be involved in 2 days of championship, and on July 7th, the final stages will begin to decree the 2021 world champion. Lake sailing, especially on Lake Garda, brings with it a different set of challenges. Our sailors are honored to be representing the Bahamas at this world-class level. Danielle Thompson named to the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference 50th Anniversary Women's Tennis Team. The former Morgan State tennis player was selected by media representatives, sports information professionals, and fans. In 2018, Danielle was first team All-Conference, the Conference Player of the Year, and the Conference Championship Most Outstanding Performer. John Quill Jones and the Connecticut Sun back in the win column last night, taking down the Indiana Fever 86-80. The Sun built a big lead in the first half and then went into cruise control. A pretty modest game for JJ, 19 points and 4 rebounds. These same 2 teams play again tomorrow. The bottom of the net Summer Sizzler basketball tournament taking place this week at the Hope Center. Organizers just happy to be back on the court.
It back in 2018, and so we had the pandemic break, and so we're starting it back up for 2021. We have 45 registered teams in the various divisions. We have 5 divisions, which is the U15 boys, U17 boys, the U20 boys. We also have the open men, and we also have a girls division. The event is scheduled to go for 3 days, but because of the weather, we're looking to extend it by another day. So it should end on Sunday, championship games.
William McCartney picking a doubles title at the Hidek Regional event in Guatemala. Competing in the under-14 division, William and partner Marcos Cordoba from the Dominican Republic won the final in straight sets, 4-2, 4-2.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Legend, a story that has been passed down for generations. In our history, there are numerous untold stories. This is our legend.
I am a true Bahamian. Nassau's my home, my native land. I want you people to understand. I'm proud to be a Bahamian.
She's been singing since the age of 5 because she felt like it.
This building, owned by the National Insurance Board, is being ceremoniously named in honor of the country's first female Governor General and former Minister of Education, Dame Ivy Dumont. Join the Ministries of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture, and the Public Service and National Insurance for the naming ceremony of this building on University Drive, which houses the Ministries of Education and Youth, Sports and Culture. We are broadcasting live on Monday, July 5th, 2021, with our pre-show beginning at 10:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
Hurricane season is here, so now's the time to start checking off your list. Make note of what you have. Test your batteries, radio, flashlights, and the expiry date on your first aid kit. You may have to replace a few things. Then make sure you have at least 1 gallon of drinking water per day for each person, 2 weeks supply of non-perishable food, a cooler for ice, and if you have an infant, pack a bag of baby items. Keep spare toilet paper, paper towels, and sanitation wipes, along with cleanup supplies, trash bags, waterproof packaging for personal documents, and mosquito repellent. Have 2 extra face masks per person and enough hand sanitizer and life vests for everyone in the household. And have a plan. If shelter gets compromised, plan with household members beforehand how you will escape. That might mean having a knife, axe, crowbar, or other tool to pry open a door, window, or roofing in an emergency. For more information and a full hurricane prep checklist, visit ZNSBahamas.com.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we continue to monitor Hurricane Elsa. As you can see, at 5 o'clock this afternoon, the center of that system was some 505 miles to the southeast of the Dominican Republic. It's moving towards the west-northwest at 30 miles per hour, maximum sustained wind currently at 85 miles per hour, and we don't expect any significant change in the intensity over the next couple of days as it races towards the west-northwest. And as you can see on our tracking map, we expect this system to be just to the south of the southeast Bahamas sometime on Sunday morning, and at that time we'll see an elevation in the winds around the southeast Bahamas, including the Turks and Caicos Islands. Winds will be up to about 15 to 25 knots, creating choppy seas around 5 to 8 feet. And as it continues to move across Cuba, come Monday morning, Monday afternoon, we'll see some weakening of the system as it starts to interact with land and the mountainous terrain of Cuba, dropping off to about a tropical storm as it heads toward the Florida Peninsula. Meanwhile, the northwest Bahamas will be just to the east of that system, so once again some rains will be generated as a result of those outer feeder bands from that system as the system continues to trek towards the north. But Grand Bahama and Abaco, in case you're concerned, no need to panic. You'll see an elevation in your range as well, but as far as the winds are concerned, that will be well to the west of you as Elsa continues to trek towards the north. That curvature towards the northeast will not take place until it reaches the thunderstorms in the mix as well. High temperature tomorrow getting up to 89 degrees, and extended weather forecast, as we said, partly sunny tomorrow with isolated showers, but on Sunday, this is when that system will be at its closest point to us, so we'll see an increase in clouds and shower activity developing on Sunday, taking us right into Monday. But as that system continues to move across the Florida Peninsula, you will see skies starting to clear up on Tuesday, returning to mostly sunny conditions, and that will last for the balance of next week. Temperature-wise, remaining in the upper 80s, and those nighttime temperatures around the upper 70s and the low 80s.
Basil, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Cooperatives in the Bahamas will join with cooperatives around the world to show